Let's take a look at the grid then in reverse order. Thierry Vermeulen qualified third, but disqualified for being underweight, starts 24th with Nicky Tim for company. Fabio Scherer in the Mustang. Max Powell, a wet weather specialist, could be one to watch from further back. Tom Callender and Nicola Bart up next. 18th and 17th, Luca and Lucas Auer with work to do, the championship leader. Arjun Maini and Marco Wittmann just ahead. Wittmann involved in the championship fight as well. Bortolotti and Pepper in their respective Lamborghini start 14th and 13th. Bender in the McLaren, Jules Gounon in the Mercedes up next. Into the top 10, Timo Glock, an excellent effort to be 10th. René Rast is 9th. Ingen Nguyen 8th. Maro Engel 7th. And then Gilles Magnus in 6th place in the Aston. Maurice Skuring equaling his best of the season in 5th. Ricardo Feller, the winner at Red Bull Ring, 4th. Austrian driver, champion Gilles Magnus, not involved in the championship fight, just trying to have a good end to the season. Here we go, everybody. Brian Oliver and me, Chris Hartley, in the commentary box to talk you through the penultimate race of DTM 2025. We are now at racing speed, and Ben Green is the only one that can see the first corner with all the spray that's out there. Aitken follows him through in second, Preining in third, and then the Land Audi, Ricardo Feller in 4th. Maurice Skuring lights ablaze on the orange Porsche, holding on to 5th place in this single file start. It's now an exploration for the drivers. First time driving in the wet in these conditions at this speed after a couple of wrecky laps behind the safety car. So they're now driving on their feel and on their nerve and on their absolute pure skill, these drivers. Parabolica flat out in the dry this corner at 265 kilometers an hour. It's 160 miles an hour. Then look, you stand on the brakes for the slowest corner on the lap, the Spitskare, and Ben Green goes deep into the corner from the race lead, and Jack Aitken is going to get ahead of him. Maybe Thomas Preining's going to get through as well. All the way out off the road went Ben Green, but he at least held off the Porsche of Thomas Preining. So Aitken into the lead of the race. Ben Green down to 2nd place. Tommy Preining now trying to get that position, that 2nd place, as they go side by side, and the Porsche lights ablaze, gets his foot in. The Austrian's going to get the inside line for the right-hander to follow. He goes through and he gets himself up to 2nd. He's the first one to get there and find there was no grip, and then he had this move on him done by Thomas Preining around the outside to get the inside line for the next turn. Preining up to 2nd.
What he didn't need, what has been a poor weekend has gone from bad to worse. We're looking at a replay here. Hear what is going on to the inside. Is there contact with the McLaren?
Yeah,
or
clipped the right rear corner of the McLaren of Ben Dirt, tipped him into a 360 spin, then hit the wall the other side of the car.
Disaster for his championship hopes. So on the team radio, let's hear what happened.
Can you bring back the car, or you have to retire completely? I can bring back the car, but it's no way to complete it.
So clearly a mechanical issue of some sort with the car. He comes back into the garage, but scoring points today looks like it's not going to happen. These conditions at the moment, you see Maurice Skuring, the 3rd of the Porsches as well there around the outside. Ingen Nguyen, a little bit of contact with Maro Engel. Engel coming back at him. Now, has that opened the door for René Rast? No, it hasn't. Rast now ducks to the inside of Ingen Nguyen. So what looked like a move for position has seen him relegated back.
Would you believe it, after everything that happened in Austria, if it were to stay like this, Jack Aitken would be the championship leader on a Saturday night once again. But whisper it, because there's still nearly 40 minutes of race, or nearly 45 minutes of racing to go with the extra 3 laps added on. What a battle this is, though. Nguyen is on the attack in one moment, now he's on the defence, because here comes René Rast drawing alongside him, and you've got Maurice Skuring down the inside of Ben Green. Fella's already got past him, so the Audi and the Porsche both getting on the Ferrari. Ben Green, the pole sitter, down to 5th place now, and look, we got a change of lead. Thomas Preining is ahead of Jack Aitken. He's got through as well. A terrible lap that, or a few corners even, for the Ferraris.
Jack really didn't have anything to defend with, and now René Rast, that was that moment where he got together with Ingen Nguyen to come through as well. So a lot of door banging going on here in this stage of the race. The traction is so limited. Here comes Thierry Vermeulen. So don't think we're going to be thinking about slick tyres anytime soon. So drivers pitting nice and early for their stop.
Yeah, Thierry trying something different as he has to do. So he comes in right at the top of the pit window. Bender is going to stay just in front of him. He'll never give up in the DTM. Things change all the time. This is, yeah, exactly what happened. So that's a big no-no in the DTM. A shame, because it was a pretty decent pit stop up until that point. A second clear of him as Max Powell comes into the pits.
And you'll have seen from your graphic that Ben Durr has got a penalty lap for spinning the wheels on the jacks. That's a big no-no, that one is. So he's going to have to visit the penalty box, which is on the exit of the hairpin. He's going to have to pass through that at no more than...
And Jules Gounon could do without losing any places, really, because he's only just staying in the championship fight going into Sunday as it stands. This is the track where he made his debut 12 months ago. Look at Mirko Bortolotti. Two champions together here. The reigning champion trying to get around the two-time champion. And the Italian is almost around the outside of the German, but then he almost loses the back end coming through the final corner. Spoke to Luca before the race. He was pretty happy that the rain was going to give an opportunity, because he wasn't happy that the car was particularly quick as we get this replay of this battle in dry conditions, because he went here last year ahead of that man, Mirko Bortolotti. Trying everything, isn't he? Never gives up, Mirko. Might not be fighting in 11th place. Ben Green into the pits then, a race that hasn't gone to plan so far.
Yeah, so the team get to work at Emil Frey. Just done a quick stop. Can they do a quick stop here? So coming in nice and early. That's looked all clean. So off the jacks he comes.
He was giving it full beans there. And that is Engine going, just driving around the outside of the Mercedes of Jules Gounon. So that puts him up to 9th place now. Gounon tries to come back at him as they make their way into the next section, but the Porsche has got the line covered off. So Engine getting his sleeves rolled up here, fighting for every single point, because these few points might make the difference come tomorrow. And look at this now, Marco Wittmann the next to go on the attack as he comes around the Mobil 1 curve. He's got his nose in front, he's got the inside line. They hit the brakes, turn left into the Sachs curve, and the BMW comes through.
There's mandatory stop, so now the teams will get ready to jump. Still, we've got the main leading cars all out on track, staying out at the moment, but they're going to have to come in the next 13.25 minutes.
Yeah, so it is René Rast, the next of the championship contenders to come in. Rears change first, then front. 6 work on the pit stops. 1 holds the lollipop, 1 is in charge of the air jack. The other 4 work on the wheels in the pit stops. 1 holds the wheel, 1 puts it on, and they move from the rear to the front on either side of the car. Already made their stop, and this is Thierry Vermeulen swapping a wing mirror with the Lamborghini of Max Powell. Air jack stays out of the way. As soon as they're ready, they pull the air jack out of that hole in the car, and that will release the hydraulics. Down on the ground goes the car. So there to the right of the picture is your leading pit stopper, the blue BMW of René Rast. Then Ben Green in the Ferrari, 2nd of the pit stoppers. Wittmann will come out 3rd of the pit stoppers. And then I think maybe 5th, 4th. Yeah, because the next 2 come through as well. Now, normally, dry conditions, because there's no tyre warmers allowed in the DTM, takes them about a lap to get the slick tyres up to temperature, but it's a different kettle of fish in the wet, isn't it?
Yes, so the wet weather tyres, which of course have grip in, as we see Arjen Nguyen now going wheel to wheel with Gilles Magnus. But with the treaded tyres in the wet conditions, it's an entirely different ball game. So they'll probably get more grip quicker than they would do on a slick tyre.
Yeah, relatively. So René Rast, Ben Green, the first 2 of the pit stoppers. Bortolotti was in that mix as well in the background. So he came in and had a decent pit stop, 7.4 seconds. And I reckon he's going to be up the order once this all settles down. He was battling, what was he, 13th place, battling for 13th as Nicola Bart goes off the road. It'll come to you, Aston. Look how muddy it is if you go off-road. That's how much rain we've had here in the last hour and a half. Jack Aitken comes in then, trying to end Saturday as the championship leader. This has got to go absolutely right for him. Emil Frey. 2 really good pit stops so far for his teammates. Through that left-hander, and the moment he got on that, I was going to say grass, Brian, there ain't a lot of grass left. It's just a swamp, isn't it, down there?
Mud racing. I've just been watching him out the window.
And that's good, yeah, 7.3 seconds. Land coming now for Ricardo Feller. So where is René Rast? He's just at turn 16. I can see from the commentary box, he's about 3-4 car lengths clear of Ben Green. And Mirko Bortolotti is 3rd of the pit stops, 4th in the standings coming into this race. And it's going well for Maro. Still yet to get a race victory in the 2024 season. Eric Harl there with the helmet cam. Frantic, isn't it? Absolutely frantic. But away goes Maro Engel, and Maro from windward. And Gounon has come out just in front of Riccardo Fella, but will he be able to keep Riccardo behind? Because he's still got cold tyres, they're still going to be slippy. So here comes the chance for Riccardo Fella to get ahead of Maurice Gounon, and he gets his nose through on the way through the Parabolica, gives a face full of spray to the young Dutch driver. That is the lack of visibility that you get. So the last to make his pit stop with just over a minute to go. So he comes down the pit lane. Jack Aitken is just at the Sachs curve at the moment, coming into that left-hander now, and Thomas Preining is having to wait, hits the mark, and lets his team now do the rest at Manthey. All good so far. Sparks fly from the Jack there, and drop down Thomas Preining, 8 seconds stationary time. So it's going to be pretty tight, I think. We'll look at the background. Preining comes out, still in the lead. Yeah, it's the front left that's the problem, and the ADAC donate €4 to try and help clean out water for countries in Africa.
It's not taxed.
Yeah, that was the unsafe release bit. No, that was why I was going so slowly. I thought as much. Yeah. And there goes the wheel.
And of course, tomorrow, the first 3 will have success ballast on board as Nicky Tim and Ben Green go wheel to wheel. So this is for 8th place. Ben Green has him covered off at the moment, but Nicky Tim, we saw him earlier on, fairly wild around the corner. Also see him searching for wet patches on the track, trying to dry the tyres, trying to cool them as well, and then into the left-hander to the inside, comes sweeping past. Ben Green didn't really look like he had anything to defend with, but yes.
Still going okay for him. On board with Marco Wittmann, who's at the points at the moment as well. There was something then where Mirko Bortolotti and Luca Engstler have now switched positions, actually, because we see on this shot, Mirko is ahead of Luca. Has to make that a very wide Ferrari now for the last 6 minutes plus 3 lap of this race, because he needs the points. But here comes Maurice Gounon, flicking from the right to the left, goes wide, tries to get back on the gas a bit earlier now as they come out of the Spitzkehrer. Tomorrow there's going to be 7 points between the top 4.
The season opener next year is in Austria. Right now, Maurice Gounon to the inside in the Sachs curva, under braking. Jack Aitken on the wide outside. You see the back end sliding, trying to find the traction. You've
got the traction around the outside. He went, and then the moment that you just saw, Maurice Gounon moving into a podium position on the curbs, starts to see that there might be a chance to get through on the way into the Spitzkehrer. He's down the inside. Can he slow the car down in time? Engel's gone for it. A brave move, and he's got his nose in front. He's kept the line tidy. He's up to 4th place, and Jack Aitken drops down to 5th and loses another couple of championship points.
Another look at it here. Maro Engel ducks to the outside, then back to the inside on the right-hand side into the hairpin, under braking. Jack Aitken
just ahead of him. They break, they go side by side. The Porsche trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari. And he's alongside, but he goes a bit deep and a bit wide into the corner. Jack Aitken gets him back as they accelerate out now. Here comes Gounon though, with the inside line next up for the right-hander. He's got to make the move now. He's got the dry line. Out onto the wet stuff goes Jack Aitken, and Jan is through up to 5th place. Riccardo Fella is having to dig deep, work really hard to keep him at bay. In the background, Maro Engel is still only just clear of Gounon. They come then into the Sachs curve for the final time here, side by side. Maurice Gounon trying to get up to 2nd place. Here comes though Thomas Preining, a race win once again here at Hockenheim to throw himself right into the thick of the championship fight.
Very good job. We have P2 in the championship, just 3 points down. Everything to play for tomorrow.
Absolutely, music to his ears, and it's nose to tail coming out of the last corner. Maurice Gounon is going to give it one last push to the checkered flag. Almost a photo finish, but Riccardo Fella by a 1/10 of a second hangs on to 2nd place. Gounon in 3rd. Engel has held on to 4th place. 5th place for Gounon. 6th place for Jack Aitken. When he dropped behind Gounon, he dropped behind Angin, and I think Jordan Pepper in the points as well too. But it's going to be such a tight fight. We kind of knew that, didn't we? But it's going to be even tighter than I think even we anticipated. Luke. Equalled by one other team, the Phoenix Racing team, and they are doing a very good job in DTM these days. So Manthey EMA and Thomas Preining celebrate. They all gang up on the representative of the team.